Hey guys, Doug here. I've got a camper video for you. We've got a problem with display. Showing the fresh water tank is always empty, no matter how much water we have in it at any given time. I want to walk you through the steps I went through to test the wiring to make sure it is the tank sensors, and how we upgraded the tank sensors to a much better version which should last a lot longer for right around $30. So if you have the regular sensor style setup that uses voltage versus the sea level, this might be the video for you and just might save you quite a bit of time. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. Now, let's take a look at the command panel, and on there you'll notice that the light is showing empty. It is always showing empty, but that is the indicator we're looking at today. If we crawl under the camper, just in front of the left rear wheel, pull down the coroplast and hold it back with a strap. Just above the freshwater drain, you'll see the side of the tank that we'll be working on. Let's talk connections. The connections we'll be testing today. Bottom left, you've got your ground wire, that's in white. The next wire up, you have the yellow, that's 1/3 full. Just above that, then you have the green wire, that's 2/3 full. And then above that, you've got an orange wire that's indicator for the full. So these are the sensors we're going to test, and the way we're going to do that is ground to full. We're going to have a jumper wire from one to the other, and then after that, we're going to test from the ground to the 2/3 full, and then we're going to go inside each time and check the light to make sure that's working. If it is, then we know it's the sensors. Testing our ground. So we've got the alligator clip connected to the ground wire, and then the other end is connected up here to the sensor in full. If we go back inside, we can see now we've got a full sensor reading. Next up, we're connecting to the green wire, or the 2/3 full sensor, and leaving the ground connected. Let's go back inside and check. And here we have it, 2/3 full, so we know that's it. Let's remove a sensor for inspection. First, shut off all power to the camper. Double check to make sure the displays are off. I disconnected the wire from the 2/3 sensor, that's just releasing the top nut. And now I'm using a trim tool to release the sensor from the tank. As you can see, the sensor appears to be corroded, and this is definitely going to cause a connectivity issue. Went ahead and ordered these sensors online from Amazon. I'll have a link in the description of that. It's the Horst sensors from Rec RV. They have a much longer sensor probe. Rather than just being a flat sensor, they actually have a probe on them. They sell these for black tanks, shown above. They have a hood over them to keep debris off, but these, for the fresh tank, all I need is the pin. Oh, and a quick plug for my upcoming video where I upgrade from a 33 to 42 series pump. Since we removed that 2/3 sensor for inspection, that'll be the first one that we replace. Once we insert the probe, we can use the end of a socket just to finger tighten that bottom nut. That will collapse the rubber seal against the tank. Then we're going to place the green wire O-ring over top of the stud, and then apply the top nut on top of it to hold it down. Again, we don't want to over tighten that. If we need to, we can hold the bottom nut with a pair of pliers. Next up, let's replace the full tank sensor with the new Horst probe. As you can see here at the top, we're just going to remove the top nut, remove the wire retainer, and then use the trim tool to pry out the old sensor. Then we grab the Horst probe, and we're just going to drop that into the opening. Tighten that bottom nut down with a handheld ratchet, and then place the orange wire over top and the top nut on top of it. We're just going to tighten that down. Now let's follow the yellow wire down to the 1/3 full sensor and replace that with a new Horst probe. Follow that wire down here and remove the top nut and the yellow wire. Sometimes you've got to hold that bottom nut still to get that top nut off. This is the way I did it, just used a pair of needle nose pliers. Once you have that wire off, then we'll use the trim tool just to pry that out. Some come out easier than others. Now that we have that out, we'll install the new Horst probe. Now that the bottom nut has been attached, make sure it's secure, put the wire on, and then put the top nut over top and tighten that down by hand. At this point, all we have left is the OEM ground tank sensor. We'll get started on that next. Here we are on the far left side of the tank. At the bottom, removing the top nut, moving the ground wire, loosening the bottom nut just enough to get the trim tool underneath of it. Either get it under the nut or under the sensor, and hopefully under the rubber portion of the sensor. In this case, I did not. I got it just above the rubber piece, but we can always pull that out with a pair of needle nose pliers. Insert the new Horst tank probe. Tighten down the bottom nut by hand. Don't want to flatten that washer out too much. Put the ground wire on. And then tighten that top nut over top. All probes are installed. This is what the finished effort looks like. Now it's time to restore power to the camper and test the Horst probes. First, we're going to fill up the tank to roughly 86 gallons. Then we're going to go inside and note that it is showing right where it needs to. If we compare it to our Mopica sensor, I highlight the Mopica sensors in another video, but as you can see, both sensors are reading the same. Next, let's fill up the tank till it starts coming out the overflow. As you can see here, it's already doing that. Looking for any leaks. Interestingly, the top full mark is barely touching that top sensor. This camper is level, but that's how close the top sensor is to the full mark. And if you compare that full mark to the overflow, the red hose, it is right there. So that's where the water comes out once you fill it up full. Lastly, we'll just reinstall the coroplast up underneath the frame rail. And I mentioned earlier I would show the app. You can see here the fresh tank is showing full on the app as well. So the sensors indeed were the issue here.
Well, that about does it for this video. As you can see, the panel's working now, showing the proper level of the fresh tank as well as the app. If you liked this video and it saved you some time, like and subscribe, and until next time.